I'm half Iranian, half Sudanese. I was born in the States, in Berkeley, California. Soon after we moved to Sudan, where I lived there for 5 years. Living there as a child was amazing. I was surrounded by my cousins. It was very innocent, it was very playful. We maybe had one TV channel that barely worked. I grew up watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is not very common for girls. It was a very unique upbringing. So after 5 years of living in Sudan, my parents decided to move to Canada. And it was very difficult because, moving from Africa to Canada, it's a big jump, it's a big change. They took us to our home countries every summer. It's in our roots, right? So they always wanted to be instilled in us. And I think it's very important because it's who you are, You don't want to just go to the West and forget who you are and where you came from and what your religion is. So it was a very interesting kind of childhood, teenage life. Living in different parts of the world, it makes me a bit more well-rounded in the sense that I can relate to different people. And I understand the world in a different way, and I see things differently. We're all girls in our family, so my father always, made sure that we were always independent. And this was very important because, you never know where you're going to end up in life, and you always have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, regardless of who you end up with, who you marry, and what their financial background is. Growing up, they've always seen this side of me. They've always seen that I've had this entrepreneurial itch. I was always the one that was trying to find new ways of starting a business from a very young age. And I remember when I was very young in elementary school, I would make these friendship bracelets. All the school kids would come and get them from me. So, even from 12 years old, I was starting to find different ways. And although I didn't need to work, I still felt that I should, because I think it's important in gaining experience, understanding the world in a different way, and not just going to university, getting a job, and then that's it. After finishing university, I worked in Canada for a little while, and then I moved to Dubai. This is where I met my husband, and he's also been an extremely important person in my life because he saw that in me as well, and he pushed me. He said, if you're not satisfied with what you have right now, then why are you still settling? And that's really important because I don't believe in settling. I think you should always try to strive for more. You should always try to really, find what it is that you love to do and do it. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy with your life. You're not going to be content, and I think that's extremely important. He always knew this about me, and so I needed someone to give me that empowerment and, to feel that I could do it. So he gave me my strength in a way that I had but was too scared to let out, So I was always afraid to take that risk, and, you just need a push sometimes to just get the ball rolling and to take that first step. And he really did that for me. He was very inspirational and motivating. And I'm so glad that I did that, because if had I not, then I would always think back, what if? I was always afraid that I was going to fail, and what would people think, and how much money am I going to lose? So there's so many different risks that I was worried about, which are totally expected or natural. Every person thinks this. But in hindsight, I'm very happy that I did take that step, and I didn't expect it to be the way it is today. And no one really knows how it's going to end up. But you won't know until you actually find out.